Today we are going to be reviewing the Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr, ESO's latest chapter or downloadable content. Now just for new players before I get into this review, if you couldn't get into the Elder Scrolls Online when it was launched 5 years ago, this game really has come a long way since. It's now refined, it's really good fun to play, and there's just so much content to get through. But I always tell people who play either Skyrim or Oblivion, you will enjoy this game, but at heart, the Elder Scrolls Online is a mass multiplayer online game, and it's not a single player Elder Scrolls roleplay experience. But that said, you will surely find some enjoyment in the absolute mountain of interesting quests, dungeons, bosses, and lore and stories that the game offers. It is very accessible to new players, but it still has an incredibly challenging endgame with a very high skill cap. Now I've already made a video on getting started in ESO and I'll link that down below in the description. You can also subscribe with the bell icon to my channel to catch me live streaming ESO here, and when you do you can ask me any questions then. But now to my full review. The new Elsweyr chapter adds both the new Necromancer class and a new questline and zone to explore into the game, and all typical things you'd expect from a zone and more. New locations in the form of towns, world bosses and public dungeons, but also dragons. Giant dragon bosses that are flying around the map that are so big they literally have their own map markers, so you can actually chase them down with other players and slay them. And these things are absolute raid bosses. If you get hit by any of their attacks, they will literally kill you outright because they're that strong. But it brings the community together in a new way. It's much more immersive than the usual groups of players you get waiting for world bosses to spawn. The dragons also drop rare ingredients and treasures as well, so you can easily turn a quick 1000 gold depending on what they drop. The battles themselves are pretty fun. The dragons use shouts and taunt you for being a puny human and fly around and breathe fire and generally just look awesome for an MMO. As I said, most of the moves and abilities will generally one-hit kill you unless you're a tank, so they require dodging and a little bit of skill and group team play to kill them. Elsweyr also has a prologue for new players that will have you battling a dragon at level 1, which is also really fun if you just want to jump straight into the new chapter's storyline, but it's not necessary. Now talking of dragons, that brings me onto the main questline of Elsweyr. Now without spoiling anything, Elsweyr is the land of the Khajiit, the cat race. Many of the Khajiit breeds are well represented in this DLC, like the Senche mounts or the talking cats. The architecture, towns and buildings and dungeons and temples all look incredible, and it makes you feel like you're really exploring the deserts of northern Elsweyr. In particular, the mountainous desert landscapes really do make you feel like you're exploring a very unique zone here. But unfortunately, Elsweyr is currently being overrun by dragons and undead. But due to the war, the Khajiit have been left to fend for themselves. So the main quest sees you and Abnar Tharn, and also Cadwell, characters you will know from the original main questline, saving Elsweyr from the dragons. It's basically a massive lore bomb of knowledge, and as usual the voice acting is really good and the story is compelling with a few plot twists and backstories that really do keep things very interesting. But unfortunately I really did find that all the boss fights in the main story, while having really good build up and just looking absolutely epic, they were in fact stupidly easy. I mean, at the end of the day, I do play a high level Nightblade, but even lower level characters aren't going to struggle with this story content. There was no challenge at all. I guess they did want to make it accessible for all types of players, so if you are looking just to play through the story and enjoy it, it's really very easy to do that. I also found that the main quest was really not that long in terms of playtime. It only took me 6 hours to complete while live streaming and listening to every single line of dialogue fully. But I'm sure the other activities will probably see that stretch into 8 or 12 hours of content, depending how much you play the new trials that the DLC adds in as well. So if you want a challenge, instead look to the 12-player trials for the Ultimate Dragon boss fight that also has some new item sets that are really good. There really is something in there for each class that you can obtain from drops after killing the 3 different bosses that the new trials offers. But I'm not going to go into detail about those sets in this video. One of the most exciting things Elsweyr adds in is the new Necromancer class, and I think this is going to be one of the reasons most people actually buy this DLC in the first place. Oh, that looks sick. And the Necromancer class could really be a video in itself, because the class is truly unique, offering abilities that literally manipulate the undead, increase in power based on how many corpses are around you, and they just look awesome really. And the class is really rather powerful, and it can be played in any role very effectively. My girlfriend's currently playing it as a healer, and we're getting through veteran content really easily, to be honest. She has this one ultimate ability that can instantly resurrect the whole party by just pressing a button, which is so useful if you're in certain trials or dungeons and you don't have time to resurrect somebody who's got one hit killed by a certain boss when they made a mistake or dodge rolled the wrong way. Or tanks can morph into an undead bone armored giant, which just looks awesome. The Necromancer even works well in stamina-based DPS and magicka-based DPS classes. It can do anything. You can really play this class any way you want to play. And that is the thing I love about the Elder Scrolls Online, just being able to legitimately play a class any way you want to, and it's still effective in some way. Each of the Necromancer's skill has morphs that further change the ability so you can tailor it to your character and what you're trying to do. And the abilities do look really cool and they're fun to use. I'm not going to go into more detail about what they exactly do because many other people have already made videos on exactly how the Necromancer works, so you can just search for Necromancer build guides about what you're interested in playing. It is, however, a very powerful class right now. I personally, though, would have loved to have seen some summoning abilities to create like literally an army of the undead, like I did with my Skyrim build a few years ago. But alas, it seems the abilities instead manipulate the undead and the corpses around you. At least you can summon a flesh atronach from the depths of hell to smash your foes in battle. That is goddamn cool. I did, however, like that you can't just summon undead in the middle of a city, or the guards actually will attack you and try and arrest you and put a bounty on your head. They even added a unique dialogue option for necromancers that gives the class a real lore-friendly flavour to it. It's just nice to see an MMO where the NPCs actually react to what you're doing. It really gives you some kind of moral compass in that sense. Overall though, to summarise, the Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr is really just more Elder Scrolls Online content with the addition of the new Necromancer build. You will most likely enjoy it most if you're into your lore though. I love the additions of dragons and the Necromancer class, but in terms of content, it really is just another zone to explore with a new intricate story and all the other things that come with that. On a whole, I really enjoyed it and I had a lot of fun, as you can see in my live stream, linked below if you want to watch me play through the storyline and give you an idea of what to expect. But if you are a new player to ESO and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to jump into the game now when they've just released the new Elsweyr chapter, I'd actually suggest just buying the base game for like $10. You can get it so cheap now. It's a free to play game, so you don't need to subscribe to play it, and then you can just see if you like it. If you do, I then recommend just paying for ESO Plus, which is so worth it, because it basically just unlocks all the DLC expansions for $15 a month. So just play through the 5 years worth of content, and then if you get bored, just cancel your subscription, or if you realise it's not for you, cancel your subscription. It's as simple as that, guys. But seriously, just give it a go and see if it's your kind of game. I personally enjoy it for very different reasons than I like Skyrim or Oblivion, so that's why I always encourage people just to pick it up and have a try. But as far as MMOs go, it really is a very good MMO and it's among the most popular today. So guys, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. Please do give it a like if you did, and leave any questions in the comment section down below. And if you guys are looking for an ESO guild to join, go ahead and join mine. It's called ESO Squad. You can go ahead and search for it. or you can just add my username at enter name here is what it's called. I know that's very confusing. I'm going to be on the EU server, not the North American server, unfortunately, because I live in Europe, so it's just got a better ping. But yeah, go ahead and add me, and I will catch you in the Elder Scrolls Online. I've been playing it a lot recently and also live streaming it, so don't forget to subscribe to catch those live streams. If you want to hang out in the game or do some trials or dungeons together, I'm always open to that. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Thanks for all the support on these videos, and I will see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and goodbye.